Hello. Today we're going to talk about a little bit of a mystery for me, and it's something I'm very passionate about and have been researching for years, which is the architect and designer Mart Stam. He was Dutch, and we'll start with this, which is it's in German, so it's got bits of English. It's not great, but it is the history of the cantilever chair by the Cantilever Chair Museum, which you can visit, not right now, in the north of Germany, which I went to 2 years ago. And Mart Stam is responsible in some ways for the cantilever chair that we all know. And I'll show you who was able to commercialize that more fully. But in this book, you'll see an example of his first chair designs, which were using kind of tubing. And this is inspired by a chair that he saw in public transport. And he'd worked on amazing projects like the Vanille Fabriek, which is in Rotterdam. He was part of the staff there, so he was a very good draftsman, and he designed this chair in 1926. And then he designed for an exhibition the year after, 1927, another, adaptation of this chair, which looks a lot more polished. This, unfortunately, is not the chair that most people know when they think of cantilever chairs made out of tubing. They think of Marcel Breuer and his chairs. So Marcel Breuer was also, part of his chairs were in the Villa Noailles, and the Noailles saw his work, and Mallet Stevens saw his work in the Bauhaus in Dessau around those same kinds of years. So 1927, 1925, things get very hazy. And unfortunately, depending on which museum you visit, then it's completely unclear because none of the dates ever add up. So it's very interesting. This is, I think, this one, which is the little catalog of Breuer's work in Villa Noailles, refers to a lot of clippings and a lot of publications. So you could say that this is legitimate. I think that the Cantilever Chair Museum has a different story to tell. But to loop back around to Eileen Gray also had a tubing-based chair, this one, called Bibendum, which is kind of a joke in French on the Michelin Man shape. And she published this, this piece of furniture was designed for an apartment that she designed in, again, 26, 27, 25, depending on who you look at. So it's a very interesting conundrum, who actually started using tubing as part of their chair designs. And this last one is in this very beautiful little publication on Eileen Gray. I'll finish with the last tiny thing. Again, if you have kids, this is a Dorbs, which is the history of the cantilever chair. It's in German, so if you're German or you want to practice your German, half of it is actually very beautiful illustrations, and the other half is explanations of the timelines in German, and it is tiny. Enjoy.